The second is our religious freedom. I often hear Christians concerned that we're losing our religious freedom. Christians will say things like, we need to bring prayer back in schools, which is ironic because Christians won't even pray in church. Right? I ask people to pray in church. Pastor, I don't really want to pray in church. How can we expect our schools to lead prayer if we don't even pray in our churches? I wonder, what religious freedoms are we talking about? We have the freedom to pray, and we don't do it. We have the freedom to share the gospel, to make disciples, and we don't do it. Your employer, by law, is required to not harass you about what you believe, and is even required to give you time, as long as it doesn't take away from the company, to practice your religion. It's legally defended. In the last decade, all 15 cases before the Supreme Court about freedom of religion have gone favorably for freedom of religion. We are the most religiously free country in the history of the world. Yet, churches are declining. No prayer, no gospel, no disciple making. You see, I don't think we're really scared about losing religious freedom. I think we're scared to lose religious comfort. You see, while the courts have consistently held up religious freedom, there is a growing segment of the population who is hostile to the truth of God's Word. I'm not naive. I know that there's people out there who want to take away Christian values and Christian truth. I know that. But at the same time, we're not scared about losing religious freedom. We're scared about losing religious comfort. You see, in our religious freedom, we've grown indifferent to God. Kind of take Him or leave Him. We're indifferent to the gospel of Jesus Christ that saves souls. You see, in a country where you're persecuted, you can't be indifferent. When there's a gun to your head, you can't say, I don't really know how I feel about Jesus. You're going to have to decide, is this worth living for? Is this worth dying for? When Christians from other countries like Iran and China come to us, they say it's hard to be a Christian in America. They live here for a while, and they say it's hard to be a Christian here in America. Everything's so watered down. Everything is just so low expectation. And that's not surprising. That's true in world history. Did you know that when Christianity was first legalized by the Roman government, there was a huge segment of the population that didn't know what to do? So they went out to the desert and they were monks because they thought living a life of suffering is what it means to follow Jesus Christ. Now, I don't want to suffer. Don't hear me wrong, church. I think religious freedom is great. There's no inherent value in poverty or in suffering. Why? Because heaven doesn't have poverty, it doesn't have suffering. They're not inherently good things. I don't want those things just like you don't want those things. But church, even though I don't want to suffer, do I not want people also not to suffer in hell forever? Do I love them enough? Do I love God enough to speak up for Him? We must awaken from our slumber, from our comfortable, cultural Christianity in pursuit of a biblical Christianity.